Call to the honourable member for Fowler.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, since my election in May 2022, I've repeatedly raised concerns about the rising cost of living. As your government's term ends, what real reforms will you introduce now to fix the electricity market and bring down energy prices for families, small businesses and councils who are now paying double just to keep the street lights on, with those costs passed down to ratepayers? Australia need more than just a one-off $300 Band-Aid rebate.
Call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the member for her question in both the capacity as a member for Fowler and as the Deputy Mayor of the council that she refers to in Fairfield. And I thank the member for the very terrific event that she and I was with, along with the member for McMahon, the member for Werra, the candidate for Fowler, Tu Lee, and others successfully celebrating 50 years, in particular, of Vietnamese migration to Australia, when refugees were welcomed in Australia and where the Vietnamese community have made an extraordinary effort and contribution to our nation. When it comes to cost of living, of course, the most important thing that we could do is to get inflation down. And what we have done is deliver inflation down to 2.4%. When we inherited it, at the time of the election of the member for Fowler, inflation, she will recall, had a 6 in front of it and was rising. It's now got a 2 in front of it, is falling. And one of the things that I talked with people about there in Fairfield on Saturday evening was about the fact that real wages are increasing. Real wages are increasing. And in addition to that, the member for Fowler's electorate has particularly benefited from the fact that every single one of her constituents who's a worker, working hard for their families, got a tax cut as a result of the changes that we put in place. Because we want people to earn more and to keep more of what they earn.
Order. The Prime Minister will pause. The member for Fowler on a point of order.
Relevance, Speaker. I asked about what reforms will the Prime Minister, the government, introduce now to fix the electricity market and bring down energy prices?
Well, the Prime Minister was also, in your question, was about the issue of cost of living. I can appreciate that you want part of the question answered, but the Prime Minister is entitled to answer the question and to be directly relevant, and talking about inflation and tax cuts is addressing the direct relevance of the question, so he is being directly relevant, but I'll make sure he remains directly relevant for the remainder of his answer. Thanks
very much, Mr Speaker. And the constituents in Fowler have also benefited from cheaper medicines. More than $1 billion has been saved. And, of course, for an electorate with a lower than average socio-economic outcome, our cost of living measures have been unapologetically aimed at particularly assisting low and middle income earners. And there aren't too many billionaires live in Fowler, and we have ensured that everyone's got a tax cut, people are benefiting from cheaper medicines, many of her constituents are benefiting from free TAFE, the urgent care clinics are reducing the costs of people getting health. The cracking down of supermarkets is making a difference as well on inflation. And indeed, when it comes to energy, of course, the member for Fowler, I'm sure, supported our $300 rebates that are making a difference. 75, 75, 75, 75. Clicking on to those bills, reducing the bills that people have to pay, as well as reducing the bills of all of these small businesses in the member for Fowler's electorate.